right, so today's video we're watching a Gold 3 support on PC playing Bap, Kiriko, and Ana, and they say this game was a doozy. It started with me on Baptiste watching helplessly as my teammates fell victim to the infamous Rialto bridge. Absolute classic. From there, the enemy team started rolling us, and I was constantly asking myself, wow, how have we not lost this yet? I don't want to spoil anything, but through sheer hope and determination, we pushed this game to 26 minutes. I made some questionable decisions on Kiriko, especially towards the end of attack, but overall, I'd say my gameplay was pretty average. This is my first season seriously playing competitive. I peaked at Plat 3 and have been on a steady decline since. I was wondering if there's anything I can do to boost my carry potential and climb out of the medal ranks. Overall, this was a great game, and everyone was super positive. I'm a big fan of Overwatch educational content, and you're my favorite streamer. Thank you for your positivity you bring to the community. I'm glad you enjoy. Let's find out what you can improve on. All right, so we're watching this, keeping your Orisa alive. All right, can your team get across the bridge? The answer is no. All right, you did mention that. I didn't know when it was going to happen. Already, right away. The Rialto bridge takes 2 more. I'm telling you, this map specifically, like, is just, this has become, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think, hi, Sully. I think that there's more people getting booped off of Rialto than Ilios well. Right, here we go. Good job so far. Don't be afraid to lamp this in a second. You need to give your teammates time to survive. Good lamp. Yeah, your Junkrat was out of it. That's why I would have maybe used your lamp a second sooner. I think there was... I think it's okay that if you predict a bunch of oncoming damage is going to happen, that it's fine to just, like, pop your lamp there. Because I think that was what it was obvious that was happening. It was just whether or not it would happen, right? So, a lot of damage. Your teammates are doing an excellent job of maximizing damage output on them. That's for sure. Yeah, lamp yourself out. That's fine. Use your burst heal to keep yourself alive. You don't miss out on that extra, 3% ult charge by going to the spawn doors. Nothing really happening. Good kill. Huh. Yeah, you're getting rolled so far, but, like, this becomes a 26-minute game. So, it happens. Sometimes you just have bad starts. Good morning. All right, on to Kiriko. Will you get across this bridge? The answer is going to be yes, because we know that, but when will it happen? I don't mind the Kiriko swap here. Cleanse. Try to cleanse your teammate next time. I mean, it didn't matter for Ramatra, but you definitely missed it. That just comes with practice. You'll be fine in that. I missed it sometimes, too. All right. Hold us, Sully 6. Good job getting out. I mean, it's weird that how this whole team fight ended up, your Ramatra ended up all the way in your spawn while your Junkrat ended up on cart, but then your Junkrat on the cart by himself ends up surviving that, and now your teammate wins. I feel like this is going to be a wild game when that's the whole sequence right there. So far, you've been fine on Kiriko. Don't be afraid to go for some damage output early here. Yep, you're doing that right now. How your teammates are getting away with these plays, I do not know. Only because, like, nice shots. Good job going for early spam, too. Careful of that angle you just took where you looked away from their, like, whole team there. You were fine because you got the cart, but sometimes it won't go that way. Why is there a Lucio in your backline diving you? I don't know what's going on now. This is an interesting sequence. What? That's a Bob. I mean, the Kitsune is fine. The problem is your Ramatra is kind of in a rough spot there with the Bob. Or with cleanse down, yeah. I mean, it's worth the effort there. I mean, why not throw the cleanse down there? Don't be afraid to go for a little bit more spam at the beginning of this map here. I think, like, play to some advantages you have. Kiriko plays very well in, like, that mid-range advantage. So, like, why not just start spamming them out, like, early before going across? You can always TP to your teammate if you really need to. Like, you don't need to be right next to your team is what I'm saying. So, like, when they're, like, playing this distance, definitely find more time for damage outplay. I think it'll be helpful for your team and also just be helpful for you. Because you get ult charge, you get kills. Like, there's a lot that you can do in general. Now, some people might be like, why that cleanse? if you don't know what's happening to your teammate at that point, it's hard to like make a really good cleanse decision. And that was that scenario, in my opinion. All right, here we go. Missed the cleanse again. I think you definitely need to work on finding out your cleanse range. Because like that's a team fight where your Ramatra can basically shred that and win the team, like win the team fight for your team. Like your Ramatra has ultimate, right? Right? So like if you hit the cleanse on your Ramatra there too, your Ramatra can turn that fight around like this and then just win the team fight. Instead, your Ramatra dies and now you're on your back foot again. So I definitely. Oh, you said it's law that you must. When you TP, you must cleanse. Oh, true. Never mind. Understandable. Well, I mean, honestly, like it makes sense if you don't know like what you're like TPing into, right? Like if you don't know what you're TPing into, yeah, it makes sense. So that's why what I was saying is that when Kiriko TP'd to the Sojourn there, right? When Kiriko TP'd to the Sojourn, like that was fine to cleanse that because I didn't even know what was happening there. Wait a second. Wait 1 minute. That Mercy might not see you. No one saw this. Don't worry. Okay, I gotta tell you the correct play on this one. Remember, you have a little bit of time in on overtime spawns, right? Especially at this part of the game. You have a little bit of a window to touch the cart. So what you need to do, instead of just trying to ult because you get your ultimate because you feel obligated to do that, you need to hold your swift step button. Remember, if you hold your button down, it will target to the first person. So what you would do is you would actually turn around while holding your teleport button. It will teleport to someone and then come around the corner and use your Kitsune. Your teammates will touch this. That's what I would do in that situation. I know it's like really... You don't even need to build your ult there. You just need to be on the cart, which is you already did. It wasn't really a whiff on the ultimate. Like, it didn't get like stuck on the cart. Basically, what happened is there's a cast time. This happens with a lot of ultimates. It has a cast time, and when you were killed right as the cast time went off, that's why the Kiriko fell over. So point being is just go into swift step mode. Like, at that point, you did what you needed to do. You touch cart, swift step back to your team. You have your Kitsune. It guarantees you win the team fight. Now, obviously, we know this game is a 26-minute game, so they're probably going to get this. But why chance that, you know? Cleanse. Good job. Means that people are still sleeping on Brig, in your opinion? Really? I still think Brig's one of the best supports in the game. It's basically the best off-tank version of a support you can have. Not from, like, when I say off-tank, it's more the playstyle. You just keep your other support alive and make it impossible for people. I like playing Brig. Yep. There you go. Yeah, I'm fine with that cleanse. Heck it, if your teammates are going to play aggressive and take a bunch of damage, then sometimes you got to use your cleanse in spots where you don't want to. Problem you're going to run into is if they have Queen ult, which they do have Queen ult. Thankfully, this Queen, like, real talk, this won't always go in your favor here. This Queen has a free ultimate the moment you cleanse and has refused to use it yet and has given you a window. If I hear that cleanse, second later, I'm going in. Swift step cleanses you. Swift step cleanses you. So if you get dynamited like that, you want to swift step again. This is the second time where you've missed your swift step. That would keep you alive there and you would survive that no problem. Okay? There's the Queen ult, which they eventually did. But, you know, I am also in that boat of, like, they should definitely give you some feedback on, like, how you're, like, what your, if your Inspire's procced, what's the range on it, how that works. Brig is definitely one of those heroes that I think is still being misplayed at times. That's bad positioning on you. You don't need to go in the middle of the open. You're keeping your teammates alive at an angle, and then you can go into your damage. A lot of this now has been out of position and incorrect swift step usage. So fixable stuff, but that's where you're going wrong a lot here. But your teammates have clutched out a lot of 4v5 team fights, even 4v4 team fights. So, or 3v4 that is. All right, let's do it. I'm totally fine with that Kitsune. Totally fine with it. Nice kills. Good job. You can cleanse this. Good cleanse. That was a good cleanse. Reason why that was a good cleanse, Chaz, when you have numbers, I talk about it sometimes. When you have numbers, you don't need to sit there, right? You don't need to sit there and just like wait to use your ability for like the perfect moment. Listen, you're in a 5v3, right? Your team's up in a 5v3. That is the perfect moment. Keep your teammates alive. Don't worry about the rest of that stuff. Like and that's what you did, and it was a good play. So I just wanted to point out why. Okay, seeing more heals. Fine with the cleanse. Teammates taking a lot of damage. You're healing your team. No one fell off the map yet. Wow, that's disappointing. No one fell off the map on this map, chat. What's going on? Cleanse when you get it, if you can. Timing was almost next to perfect there, so can't do anything about that. Time to retake. Here we go.
My gift to you.
I mean, Junkrat was up on a high ground window, isolated the way. Timing's off there. Yep. Got the kill, but I think you're kind of hecked here. I mean, your Ana can maybe keep your Ramattra alive. Yeah. I mean, you have the right idea, though. I mean, you have to try to keep your teammates alive some way. If they want to isolate themselves in 1v1s on high ground, like, sometimes it goes really well because they take a spot that people don't go to, and sometimes that happens. Yeah, I mean, I think your number one problem on Kiriko is, like, you just don't use... Like, you don't use your Swift Step as well as you could. And a lot of the times, like, you end up putting yourself in a bad position. Like, you don't play cover, so that you end up having, like, a 1-second window to your next Suzu, or, like, your... So, I really think... Don't mind that ult, by the way. Good ultimate. Very good Kitsune. You want to get map control here, regain the control of the game. That's a good way to do that. Be careful of cleansing that, though, because the Queen ultimate, again, I want you to start to think about what they have. It's working right now, but, like, a lot of the time, if Queen is close to ult or has ult, you bet that Queen's going to use it right away when you hear the Suzu. So just be careful with you overusing it when you know Queen has ultimate. But yeah, your Swift Step usage needs help. Good job using wall climb there. Yeah, the Lucio hecked up. I saw that. That was not ideal. Okay, back away now. Play it a little bit safe. Getting some heals going there. Not bad. I mean, the nano's fine. It's just the purple is unlucky. Again, you don't have cleanse for Queen Elt. And I think, like, it's been a very consistent trend this game. Good play there, by the way, on the TP save. You're probably going to get killed here by their team, but you keep missing or not having your cleanse for the Ramattra. The moment you do that, these fights start to turn. And, like, that is where, like, a lot of the issue happens, is that they're getting free value when they shouldn't. Like, they need to really work for that value, and they're not having to do that. You're like, you know what? Heck it. Have fun. And that's that, so. You have Tire. No, you don't. It's kind of the same thing. It's like you're... It feels like at times, and this is... I'll pause for a second. I almost feel like you feel like if you don't do damage for a little bit, that you like just start to be like, you know what? Now I need to go do some damage, and you just kind of run in and do damage. Like right there, like the Pharah to your left is the least of your worries. What you need to do is you need to keep your teammates alive. When you just kind of completely ditch your Ana and your Ramattra to go try to kill the Pharah, like, yeah, is there a world where you kill the Pharah there and you TP back? But like your Swift Step usage hasn't been good, so like I don't even know if that would be the play. Just keep your Ramattra alive there. Your Ramattra, once your Ramattra gets the second set of defensive cooldowns, you're in a good spot. Like you can sit there and literally just keep your Ramattra alive for a while, and then like maybe their team makes a mistake. Maybe your Junkrat spawns up and tires from spawn and gets a kill, and then you just win. One thing's for sure, that if you just like kind of like ditch your teammates there and leave them to like basically rely on your Ana and your Ramattra to basically self-sustain for a very long period of time there, like they're gonna fall over, and that's exactly what happened. So don't feel obligated to go and just keep like forcing damage output. It's good to like, I always say this with damage, because yes, it's important to do damage as support, but it's also about doing it at the right moment, not just doing it because you feel like you have to. I think sometimes it almost feels like a support will feel like they have to do that damage, which again, it's good to do damage, but you need to find the timings correctly for it. Cleanse out. Yep, all this is a good sequence. I'm okay with this. Teammates should win this. Only one can be rezzed. So you're good. Yeah, you're good. I don't know if the Mercy will res. There you go. And that's timing right there. Let me talk about timing, right? You sit there, you heal your teammates for a while, you get 2 kills, then you go in, you start DPSing. Perfect timing. That is a timing right there that's good, right? Now you're in the neutral when it's 5v5. Again, you can spam down here because you don't need to worry about any of that stuff. Go spam some damage, right? I mean, your Ramattra kind of fell back to card and is just standing there, but this is a fine opportunity to spam your damage. All right, now you got to heal your Junkrat. Res is out. They're going to have beat. Now, we're going to pause. This is where you need to learn how to track ultimates because you know they have Queen Ult, right? You may not know they have Queen Ult, but they haven't Queen Ulted in a while. So it is very important here that you do not use your cleanse like you have been. And what you do is you use it when you see any of your teammates get any like relatively low. But this Queen Ult is, or just, this is also sound cues. You hear them to your right side the whole time. The moment you get that kill, you need to start to turn around and switch step behind to end up over here. And you knew they were coming from here. But maybe I'll give benefit of the doubt. Maybe you have music on or something, but like you could hear they were all going this way, right? Outside of the person you killed here. Two options. You back up to get better view and go right here, or you TP out. You don't run into the small hallway or doorway. That's what you did. You fell over, and now you're just going back to spawn. Again, you've been picked off first a lot during these fights, and I think a lot of the time you could really change like the way these fights go. So, okay, you didn't get the other people, but you did get Ramatra. So I mean, that's what I asked for, right? I like how when you finally get Ramatra, you miss it on the other two. Ramatra has ult. Moira's gonna fall over. Might, yeah, and there you go. Well, you got yourself a game here, that's for sure. No denying that. Hey, welcome back to the bucket, Sully. Just in time to watch some Ana gameplay. Yep. Unlucky. Got spammed out by a Pharah. I don't know. That's just good spam. Okay, I was wondering what happened. I had to see. See, earlier that Lucio got 2 of that boop. That time the Lucio got no one. Just fell off the map. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, it's Rialto Bridge. It's a classic. Rialto Bridge is a classic, okay? That's all I'm saying. Still got one, true. Actually, not wrong, but I mean, it wasn't the plan they had. Good position, by the way. Dude, I'll be real with you. I thought your position was excellent there. The only thing you could have done maybe is go at this angle a little bit, like right here, and then this is like even safer. But I'll be real with you. I think that was just a good play by Pharah. I always say you can make a good play, they can just make a better play. Doesn't mean it's a bad play by you. It just means they made a better play, and that's how I feel about that one. Pharah just saw opportunity and then took it. Play for spawn here. You're gonna, yeah, okay, well. I think the Ramatra pick is a good or bad choice on the tank's part. It's fine. I mean, honestly, like, real talk, that Ramatra died about 3 times to Kiriko just not using cleanse at the right moment. And that's why that's what will be my advice for, like, my advice for Owls is, like, it's just, you know, you gotta get better with your cleanses and in your decision making with Kiriko to be able to get the value that you're looking for there. So, position's okay for now. You're on the bridge, but, like, you know, I don't mind you looking for the power for a second. I'm okay with that. Nice. Okay, play to keep your teammates alive now. It was nice of you to run into the Queen's ultimate. A little bit late on your grenade, but I understand why, because you were waiting for the purple, but I think the purple was already gone. Good May ult by your teammate. Your Mercy is still alive there. Your Ramatra has ultimate. If your Mercy can keep them alive, no, I think you're going to fall over. If your team wins that, that's miraculous. I was going to say, there's no way your team survives that. Still, I would say that's a solid push. Halfway through second on Rialto, I think that's a solid push by your team. I don't have any issues with that one. I'm more impressed that somebody got booped off that high ground into the water. Every time, I'm telling you. That's why I was disappointed when that didn't happen on the last time you were on defense. What a duel this is. Yep, throwing on a grenade. There's a double grenade. I was going to say small hallway, double grenade. Okay. They're going to get res, but hey, they won't have res for the next team fight. You got to get out, though, here. If you don't get out, you're going to stagger yourself. Yeah, I'm going to show you something here. You need to escape out this way rather than this way. The reason why is because of exactly that. If they have those heroes, you know they have those heroes, why would you go up this way, right? When in reality, you should go this way because it's a safer rotation, and then if your teammates are coming out of spawn, they have more opportunity to shoot the people here. But they can't help you there. No one can help you there unless you have a Kiriko, which you don't have a Kiriko. So, good kill on the Sojourn. You had every opportunity to get out, and then you just went up the stairs. All right, not bad. Good Ana grenade. Good positioning. Reload. Nice. Oh, that's an Ana grenade, that's for sure. Hey, it almost landed on the cart. Good positioning again. Good Ramattra ultimate. Good job keeping your teammate alive. Good Mei ult. And you need to win this team fight, so I'm okay with that. I know you're reloading. Good job. Don't... Yeah. Remember, Ana grenades also kind of give you a bit of a burst heal when you do that, so don't be afraid to use it even sooner to help with heals. It also helps your other support heal too. Like when your tank is yellow during that, like with the Ana grenade, you're gonna get increased healing from both you and your Mercy, so don't be afraid to use that even sooner. Like, don't let your tank get so low if you can, you know what I mean? Probably nano your Ramattra or Sojourn here. I would actually wait a second to see what happens.
This ends now.
You did nano your Ramattra. Remember, you can hide a little bit here with your positioning too. You don't need to play in the middle of that. You have like a good angle you can play. I don't know, that whole sequence is fine. The nano was fine. Good plays by their team, and now it just comes down to one team fight, and no one has ult, so I think this is going to come down to actually your Ramattra, and that nano might have been the game changer. That nano gave Ramattra like an extra 30, 40%, I think it was, maybe, you know, maybe a little bit less. That could be make or break here. We'll see what that leads to, but here's your Ramattra. See what their ult charge is looking like? Yeah, they're going to get it, I think, unless they like... Ooh, that's tough. Don't be afraid to be aggressive with Ana grenade here. Your queen, I was gonna say your Mei already used their ability. There you go, nice Ana grenade. There's the Ramattra ult we talked about. Good job trying to survive this. I know there's a. I mean, look, no, look for your. Yeah, just heal him, just keep your Ramattra alive. They can carry this. Throw an Ana grenade right away. Yes. Be careful of running into him like that, only because like you can win this team fight. There you go. Boom, and you win. And to show you, that all went back to that nano that you gave to Ramattra, which gave Ramattra the ability to survive this team fight and have the HP that Ramattra has. So, point being, the point I'm making here is that that was a very good decision to give nano to your Ramattra, even though that team fight was lost. You could argue, well, why don't you give it to Ramattra later on? Maybe, but think about this. Ramattra may not have built ultimate during that. Next thing you know, the queen, who's at 90%, beats Ramattra to ultimate, and then you lose the team fight. So, it worked out. You did a good job there. I will say your Ana gameplay and your BAP gameplay definitely felt a bit better than how you were playing on Kiriko. And I think a lot of the reason why on Kiriko it felt worse for you, at least from my point of view, is that you just weren't using your abilities effectively. Like, you missed your cleanses. Like, if you miss a cleanse on your tank in front of a Jungler Queen, your tank's not going to survive that for the most part, or they have to use their cooldown defensively. Two things you don't want to do the whole time. And then when you Suzu'd, like, or when you would get, or when you would Swift Step, you wouldn't Swift Step. And there was many opportunities where you died early because you just didn't Swift Step. Whether it was an Ashe Dynamite, whether it was, you know, not going to your teammates, whether it was, you know, at the overtime situation you had that, you know, on the first round. Like, there's a lot that you can work on that I think will improve a ton. In your positioning, I think your positioning puts you in spots sometimes. So you have the right idea on a position. I think if you look at your Ana positioning, that was a good job for the most part. I need you to apply that to most of the other heroes you play. You don't need to be right next to people all the time when you're playing support. You need to be in a spot that makes it impossible for the other team to go for you, which puts the pressure on the rest of your team. But if you keep them alive, you're going to probably win the team fight. Either way, work on some of those things, and I think you'll be in a good spot. But you got the win. Good job. Good clutch moments at the end there by both you and the Ramattra. Just a good game overall, and a game that wasn't looking good to begin with, and you ended up bringing it back. So well played. Work on what we said, and you can continue to climb. You got this. You absolutely got this. If you like the video, hit the like button. Subscribe to all the YouTubes if you haven't. Leave a comment. All that helps. You want to submit your own spectating? Description below. My Discord. That's where you do that. We also record these live on stream. You can see the Twitch app above the webcam. Also stream on YouTube. Stop by if you haven't. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day / night.